I knew something was wrong the moment I heard her voice tremble, just slightly when she said, "I'll be late tonight, okay? Don't wait up." It wasn't the words that bothered me. It was the way she rushed them out, like she needed to get them over with before I had time to listen closely. And maybe I wouldn't have thought much of it if I hadn't already spent weeks feeling her slipping away from me, inch by inch, like sand leaking through my fingers no matter how tightly I tried to hold on. Her distance had grown so quietly it felt almost surgical. Fewer hugs. Shorter kisses. That soft sparkle in her eyes when she looked at me dimmed. She blamed work, deadlines, stress. And I believed her because that's what you do when you love someone more than you love your own sense of reason. You trust them even when something deep in your gut whispers, "Wake up." That whisper wouldn't leave me alone that night. So when I microwaved leftover pasta and stared at 2 empty plates instead of 1, something in me decided I couldn't just accept, "I'll be late" anymore. I packed up her favorite dinner, grabbed her cardigan because she always forgot it when the office AC blasted too high, and drove toward her firm with a dumb little smile on my face. I imagined her surprised face, the kiss she'd give me, the way she'd lean her head on my shoulder and whisper that she didn't deserve me. I imagined the moment fixing whatever had been broken lately. But when I walked into her building, the security desk was empty and the lights in the hallway flickered with that ghostly after-hours quiet. Her office floor was completely dark. I stood outside her door, balancing the container of pasta in my hand like some kind of idiot offering, and gently pushed the door open. Empty. Not just empty, untouched. The chairs were perfectly lined up, the desk spotless, the computer cold. She hadn't been here. Not for hours. Maybe not at all. For a long moment I just stood there letting the silence press against me. The truth hovering like a shadow I refused to name. I tried calling her. No answer. I texted her. Nothing. I tried to steady my breathing as I walked back to the car. But each inhale felt shallow, panicked. That whisper in my gut wasn't whispering anymore. It was screaming. I checked her location, something I almost never did, but desperation rewrites your morals in real time. She'd shared it with me years ago for safety, she'd said. Tonight it led me to the stadium 15 minutes away, where the local minor league team had a game going on. Her office. The dark hallway. The untouched computer. The stadium pin glowing on my phone screen. None of it made sense in any version of reality where she wasn't lying to me. I parked near the back lot where only staff and latecomers parked, and that's when I saw it, her car. Gold Toyota. Slight dent on the rear bumper from when she backed into a pole 2 years ago. The car she said she took to the office. I must have stood beside my own car for a full minute, gripping the bag of dinner so tightly my fingers went numb. Part of me still held on to some flimsy hope. Maybe she parked here and Ubered to the office? Maybe she met a client? Maybe. Then I saw her. She was leaning against the back of a pickup truck, her coat half off her shoulder, laughing with a man I'd never seen before. Not just laughing. Glowing. The way she used to glow with me. Her hand brushed his arm, and he stepped closer, caging her between his body and the truck like it was the most natural thing in the world. She didn't look stressed. She didn't look overworked. She looked alive in a way she hadn't looked with me in months. My legs moved before my brain did. I ducked behind a row of cars, not out of cowardice but because I needed to see, really see, before allowing my heart to accept the truth. I raised my phone, zoomed in, and watched as he tucked a strand of hair behind her ear like he had a right to touch her that way. She closed her eyes. He kissed her. Not a quick mistake. Not a slip. A slow, familiar kiss that said volumes I never wanted to read. My hands shook as I snapped photos. Each click felt like another crack forming in my chest. But I kept doing it because I needed proof. Not for revenge, not for anger. Just to survive the gaslighting I knew I'd face if I tried to confront her without it. I needed a record of the moment my marriage died. I didn't approach them. I didn't shout or cry or make a scene. I just walked back to my car, placed her untouched dinner on the passenger seat, and sat there feeling the world tilt sideways. I wondered how long it had been going on. I wondered what lies she'd told. I wondered if she ever loved me the way I loved her. Or if she had simply loved what I provided until something more exciting came along. My phone buzzed. A text from her. Still at the office. Might be later than I thought. Love you. I stared at the message before typing. Okay. Drive safe. That was the moment something inside me broke so quietly I barely felt the snap. I drove home in silence, the cardigan she forgot, lying in my backseat like a prop in a life that no longer existed. The next morning, before she woke up, I emailed the photos to my attorney and requested an urgent meeting. When she eventually stumbled into the kitchen, yawning and pretending to stretch like she hadn't been in some man's arms hours earlier, I simply poured her a cup of coffee, set it in front of her and said, "I'll be filing for divorce today." Her face drained of color instantly. What? Why? What are you talking about? I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I didn't shake. "I know," was all I said. She covered her mouth, tears forming instantly. "Please, please, it's not what you think." But we both knew it was exactly what I thought. She reached for me like she had the right, but I stepped back. For the first time in months, I felt clarity slice through me, sharp, clean, final. I left the house that morning without looking back, without slamming a door, without letting her tears rewrite the truth. And as I walked away from the woman I once believed would be my forever, I finally understood something I wish I'd learned years earlier. Love can survive almost anything, except being the only place where it still exists.